Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Amy Morin, Editor-in-Chief with Verywell, and Caleb Silver, Editor-in-Chief with Investopedia, to discuss how COVID-19 impacts financial stress. Amy and Caleb, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks. And Amy, I'd like to start with you. Tell us about Verywell's mental health trackers and what it found.
We've been examining the mental health of Americans, especially during the pandemic. And what we found recently is in the last 30 days, most Americans are saying it's their finances that are stressing them out. In fact, 27% of people said money was their biggest source of stress, while only 16% of people said COVID-19 was their biggest source of stress.
And Amy, what are the side effects of lost income?
So we know that a lot of people who lost their jobs are continuing to struggle. 62% of people who lost their job during the pandemic say that their finances are still impacted. And that's impacting their mental health. People who lost their jobs are less interested in leaving the house. They have more difficulty sleeping. They're more likely to have trouble focusing. So we know it's taking a serious toll on their emotional health too.
Caleb, how has the recovery played out for different types of demographics?
Well, it's been very uneven, as we know. We like to call it a K-shaped recovery, where those at the top have done very, very well. Those at the bottom part, in terms of income, equity, home ownership, et cetera, have not done as well. So looking at the stats, older, wealthier, and mostly white Americans earning more than $75,000 feel like they're in a better place. Less than half of Americans rate their finances positively. We looked at a Gallup poll as well. Most people, especially those that don't earn that much, are not faring that well and don't feel that positive about the future.
And Caleb, how does that impact household wealth?
Well, household wealth, of course, very uneven. If you had equity, if you had capital, if you were able to keep your job and even grow your income during the pandemic, you fared very, very well. But over half of older generations and those making $75,000 plus claim that they've effectively recovered. Only 40% of Gen X say they've recovered, 30% of millennials say they've recovered, but even fewer in Gen Z say they've been able to recover. Over half of individuals earning $75,000 or less, Jill, reported they were still recovering mentally from the pandemic. So the scars are there. The emotional scars are still with them.
And I understand on September 21st, there's going to be an event around financial health.
Yeah, there's been so many questions about money and health and how the two intertwine. So Verywell and Investopedia, we're teaming up for a Your Money, Your Health Summit on September 21st, where we're going to be answering all those questions with experts from around the world, across health and across the financial industry, to take your questions and help folks sort through this, because it's not easy, as we know.
All right, Caleb, Amy, appreciate the insight. Thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.